So are you planning to go to swim this week? Well, don't waste your time. No, I mean, definitely go. But while you're there, don't waste your time. Hey, I'm Casey Arndt, and I help triathletes with their swimming, and I'm super psyched that you're here today. Thanks for joining me or watching on the replay. I really would love to hear who is watching, so if you're on, just drop me your hometown and let me know that you're watching. So I'm really glad that you're here. I'm having some trouble with my camera. I managed to crack it right across the lens, so I got like this weird light thing right there. I'm going to try to keep that off my face. All right, so when I first moved to Austin about 7 years ago, it was kind of after the housing bubble, and a lot of the triathletes that I met were not working, and they had all kinds of time to train. I was having an awesome time meeting people at random times a day to go to the pool or go for a bike ride on a Friday afternoon. Hey, thanks for watching. And that was really awesome, but now it seems like everybody's back to work and they're super busy. So, people trying to sneak in workouts at 5 in the morning, they're trying to sneak in workouts at 7 at night. I'm holding, swim lessons at 7:45 p.m. and people are just getting off work. It's super crazy out there. You guys are so busy. And, I have been there too. Back when I was in my 30s, that was when I found triathlon, but, before that, I was in graduate school. I was pretty sedentary. I was starting to get a little squishy around the edges, and I thought, well, I've been swimming since I was 5. How am I going to get into shape? And I didn't even consider using swimming for fitness because it was too much time. It was a big pain. So I bought a pair of running shoes and I started running, because running you can do right from your door. And you guys know, once you start doing triathlon, you can buy a trainer and then you can bike at home. You can run right out your front door. But swimming, you got to drive somewhere. Some of you guys are driving like half an hour, 45 minutes just to get to the pool. And then you got to get in that cold water and you got to do your swim, and there might be weird people there, and then you're going to get out and you're going to smell like chlorine. There's like all this big pain. So, right, like swimming can be a big pain. Are you with me on that? So, the thing is, I want to make sure that when you make the sacrifice to actually go, that you're not showing up there with no plan, that you're not just showing up there and doing the same thing time after time after time, because you are wasting your time at the pool, and it is a pain in the rear to get there. So I want to make sure that you're using your time right. I mean, if you're only going to go once a week, you want to know exactly what to do to get fit in the water, because we all know that fit in the water is different from fit for the running or the cycling, and you want to be fast, right? That's the point. That's why we're going. It's not just to fill time, because it's a pain. So I want to talk a little bit about things that you can do to make sure that you get faster. Hey guys, super glad you're on. Hey, drop me where you're coming in from, and if you've got questions, go ahead and throw it on up there. All right, so if you're really new to swimming, then you probably need to improve your technique and just your overall endurance in the water, so that you can do hundreds, 200s, 300s without stopping. If that's hard for you to do without feeling like you're going to have a stroke or something, then I have a couple of suggestions. So one, if you need help with technique, I want you to throw a 1 in the comments, because if I see a whole bunch of 1s, that's going to tell me that you guys really need help with technique, and I'm going to talk about that more in the future. So throw me a 1 if you need help with your technique. If your technique is decent, but where you're really struggling is you can't just keep swimming, your general endurance for swimming longer distances is not really where you want it, then I have a website that I really recommend for this. And so I want you to drop me a 2, and I'm going to message that link to you so that you can check it out and start working on your general endurance. So for the rest of you guys, if you can swim 200s, 300s, but maybe you just usually show up at the pool and swim continuously, I want you to throw me a 3. So you've got that general endurance, you're doing pretty well, but you're just a little unstructured about what you're doing in the water. So I really want you guys to continue watching, to listen in, because I'm talking to you today. Okay, you've got the fitness, you've got the endurance to go, but you're not really using it. Okay, so some of you guys might have heard of VO2 max or lactate threshold. These are terms that coaches throw out there and they care about, and you guys don't really need to know a lot about those, except that you can do sets in the pool or on the trainer or at the track that really are going to enhance those things. They're going to improve your VO2 max, they're going to enhance your endurance at lactate threshold, and they're going to both tend to make you faster. So you can go ahead and you can swim slow all the time. You're going to have fabulous endurance. You're definitely going to finish your event if you can swim that distance in the pool. The question is, do you want to be fast? And if you do, then these two things are things that you're going to want to care about. So especially if you're fairly new to a particular sport, say you've been running for a long time and you get in the pool, you'll notice that sometimes even though you're very fit, it doesn't seem like that fitness kind of helps you in the pool. So you're going to want to develop your swimming specific VO2 max, your swimming specific lactate threshold endurance, your muscular endurance. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, how you can use sets in the pool to improve those things. And I have to admit, you're going to kind of hate me when you hear what you gotta do. But you know, once you start to see your sense of pacing really improving and your times start dropping, you're going to be excited about it. So thanks for being on, you guys. Hey, so this is the set I want to give you guys. So this is your homework for the next time or two that you go to the pool. When you have a chance, I want you to try this set. It's pretty easy, and I'm going to use it to talk about how the strategy works. So it's 6 200s, swim with 30 seconds rest. 6 200s, swim with 30 seconds rest. You guys can remember that, right? Jot it down. Take it to the pool with you, put it on a little piece of paper, put the piece of paper inside of a Ziploc sandwich bag and throw it on the deck, and put your Garmin on so that you can keep track of your swim times and your rest times, and then you're going to do this set. And here are some things that you want to do as you're doing that set. One is you want to pace it very evenly. So if you add up all your times and you take the average, I don't want to see any of your times from the set fall outside of 2 seconds plus or minus that average. The only caveat to that is if you got gradually faster and faster as you went through the set. By no means do I want you to get slower and slower and slower, like every 200 is 2 or 3 seconds slower than the one before it. That is off limits. So how are you going to pull that off? You're not going to go crazy on the first one, okay? You got to hold back on the first one, and then you gradually get into a groove and you really get going with it by the time you get to the end and you're finishing strong. If there's one thing I can impart to you in anything, it's you always want to finish strong in practice so that you know how to hold back at the beginning and then finish strong on all of your triathlon legs. So you're going to pace it evenly, and I really need you to stick exactly to that rest time. Now you can decide 30 seconds sounds long, I'd rather do 25 seconds, that's fine. But I don't want one of those in there to be 45 seconds and another one where you got out and got a drink of water and another one where you talk to your friend Joe in the next lane. That is off limits. You've got to stick exactly to that 30 seconds, and I want you to have proof on your Garmin when you upload that sucker to Garmin Connect or Training Peaks or wherever you look at your data. I want you to see that those rest times were 30 seconds, not 35, not 36, 30 seconds. Got it? Okay, so you got to look at that and make sure that's for real. And then maybe not the first time, but the second time, you want to swim these 200s as hard as you can while sticking exactly to the rest and finishing strong. Okay, so these, you're going to be huffing and puffing. This is going to be hard work. This is not a survival set. This is not, let's see how easy I can go and not get tired. This set is meant to be very taxing. If you get out of the water and like your shoulders are red and you're just like beet red everywhere and you're like, oh, and you can barely shampoo your hair afterwards, you did it right. Okay? So this is not an easy, fun set. This is a challenging set, but it's so, so good. All right? So if you can do that set and you're looking at your times and you've met all the criteria, you've stuck to the rest interval, you paced it really well, great. The next time you come back to the pool, you can now progress it. You're not going to do 6 times 200 on 30 seconds rest from now until event day. You're going to walk through this to get to something at the end that's even better. So you want to decide, what do you want to change for next time? And here are 4 things that you can change to progress. All right? So you could attempt to do the exact same set, same number of 200s, same rest time, and swim a little faster. And I would say don't try to drop 5 seconds off your first 200. You know, try to drop 1 second, maybe 2. And then if by the end you've really found a groove, you've got your technique working, your cadence is optimized, you're really getting amazing power out of every arm stroke, then by the end of the set, who knows? You know, if you kind of held back a little bit the first time you did it, maybe you can drop several seconds by the time you get to the end of the set. And if you see that you really got a lot faster by the end, then you could always come back to that set the next week and just try to be closer to your average, or have that average be a little bit faster instead of having this big drop off in your time. So you know that maybe you held back just a little bit too much. Hey Becky, thanks for being on. All right, so you could try to get a better average. The next thing you could try to do is you could drop the rest interval by 5 seconds and see if you could still maintain the same average time as you had before, or at least still pace evenly, even if you're a little bit slower. You could add more repeats. You could do 7 200s instead of 6. Or you could change it up. So if we did 6 times 200, that's 1,200 yards total. Maybe the next time you want to try 300. So you're going to do 4 300s. You keep the total yardage the same, and then you're going to add about 10 seconds to your rest. So you do 4 300s with 40 seconds rest. And then if you liked those 300s, you could try them on 35 seconds rest the next week, etc. This goes on and on. So if it takes you a long time to get through 300s, if those guys are taking you like 8 minutes to finish, I would cap it at 300s. All right, I think eight minutes is plenty long for these types of intervals. If you're faster, if you can swim them in under 2 minutes per 100, then you can go ahead and step it up to 400s. So your ultimate goal is to grow your muscular endurance so that it covers the full distance of your race day swim leg. And this is not the only thing you're doing at the pool. I mean, I would do almost 1,000 yards of warm-up before even getting to this main set. So you're not going and doing 1,200 yards and getting out. You're not going to perform at your optimum if you didn't warm up really well. So that could be just some easy swimming, just kind of getting in the groove, a few drills that really help you to swim well, and then you want to throw in a couple of 50s with maybe some build, or maybe like a sprint and then easy by 25, something like that kind of gets you revved up, gets your intensity going, gets you feeling some speed, you're really well warmed up, and then you want to hit this set. And if you're old like me, you may find that you're really hitting your stride about halfway through that set anyway, so you really need an even longer warm-up. But you are not just jumping in the pool and then sprinting off the wall to do your first 200. You will never get your optimum performance from not warming up. And then you can do a little cool down at the end. All right, so your ultimate goal is to get to your race distance. If you're doing an Olympic, it's about 1,500 meters long. Then you want to get to where you can do 5 or 6 300s, or if you're doing 400, you could do 4 of those. If you're doing a half Ironman, that's a 1.2 mile swim. That's about 2,100 yards. So you want to grow this to at least 7 300s. And if you want to do 400s, you could do 5 of those. And that would be a great set to do maybe 2 or 3 weeks before your event. Or if you're really doing well and you started this progression really early, say you're doing Waco 70.3 way out in October, you know, when you do your first set of 5 400s in like August, you could do a bunch of them, obviously. So that's a great goal. So I want to give you guys a little offer here at the end. If you're getting excited about this, if this sounds like something challenging but fun, like something you want to try, then I want to offer you a free consultation on the phone with me. So I want you to go off and do that set of 6 200s, and then I want you to send me your results via messenger or email. And those results need to include your total time for each 200 and your rest times between all those 200s. All right, and then I want you to write at the bottom of that what you want to do next to progress it. What's your plan? What do you think you did well in that set? What do you think needs some improvement? Where are you going next? So give me your thoughts. And then after I read that, I want to set up a 10-minute phone call with you and discuss kind of where you're at with your muscular endurance, if I see something in your times that suggests some things that we might want to work on, and then where you can go next, and kind of give you some direction, all right? And answer any questions that you have after listening to this video. Does that sound good? Okay, cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing your results as you guys try these sets. Hey Mike, I know you've done some of these and you're on to like 300s already, so hopefully that you're enjoying those and they're not totally kicking your butt. And if you found this video helpful, I would love it if you would tag a friend in the comments or share it on your page or whatever you want to do. So just share the love a little bit. I'm also going to pull this onto YouTube. So if you are already on my email list, you will get that link so that you can watch it, because I know not everybody is on Facebook, so I don't know how it's possible, but apparently there are a few people who are not on Facebook, so I'm going to pull it over to YouTube so people can watch it there. Hey, you guys are the best. Again, I'm looking forward to seeing your results from the set. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to be right back here next Wednesday with something else that I hope will be really helpful for you, so please tune in. Thanks a lot. See you guys later.